I'm gravely ill. So bad that he's driving as fast as he can to get to the hospital. He pulls up in there, they got a gurney, you know, that they bring up to the car. They put me on the gurney, I pass out. My heart stopped 4 times. She would, you know, try to help my mom out, run errands for her, do things that the caregivers wouldn't do for her, color her hair, give her pedicures, manicures, and everything. But I thought it was very, very nice for her to do such a thing. I thought that she was really a gentle person, you know, by doing this, and a real humanitarian by reaching out the way she did to help my mother and father. I was teaching criminal justice and law enforcement in Corpus Christi, Texas. She wanted me to teach her. She wanted to take my courses, and she wanted to be a police officer. She became a little fixated, if you will, as far as calling me on my cell phone. She started coming over to the house, you know, as soon as I get out of work. She didn't know what time I was getting out of work, but she'd show up. About 7 a.m. in the morning, she knocks on the back door to the farmhouse, and she walks in looking like a Southern belle. And she was being very, very charming and asking for forgiveness, things like that. Oh, about 3 minutes later, I hear a thump on the door. So I opened the door and I saw a large Mexican-American gentleman with a gun in his hand pointed right at my face. I asked him if he was sure who he was looking for. When he tried to answer, you know, he made a big mistake by giving me that edge, and I took advantage of that edge to slam that door shut. You know, I hit both deadbolts. I screamed at Elizabeth Reynolds loud enough to call 911. So at that point, I got 3 in the back, and I never heard the shots, but I did smell gun smoke, and I don't know why, but I could taste metal in my mouth. I ran out that door, ran into the house through the laundry room, grabbed the cordless phone, and when I was there in the kitchen, I got another one, and I got shot in the abdomen. I never stopped. I kept running. I ended up with 5 rounds just in my torso. Plus, I had one through my left arm, and my right arm was bleeding also, so I had a bullet fragment in my right arm. He went and took her at gunpoint, and they went and they got into my sedan, my Crown Victoria, and they took off in that. You know, I started asking her about the crime, this and that and the other. Again, she started saying, oh, she's so glad that I'm fine, you know, that I lived. I went to her house after work, and she said, yeah, my mother and I, you know, we just want to say a prayer over you, and we made you a really good spaghetti dinner and everything. And I'm like, oh, hey, that's very nice. That's really nice. And so I just got there, and I ate I ate the salad, and then I ate the spaghetti. And I didn't even finish with the spaghetti, and she's like, oh my goodness, look at this, 7 o'clock already. God, I got a long day tomorrow. I'm gonna be very tired. I almost get to my house, and lo and behold, man, I am so sick. I mean, I'm vomiting. I'm pulling over the road to vomit. And I'm starting to black out. And then I pass out, I wake up, and I'm in the critical care unit. They're about to release me from the hospital, and she brought me some onion soup from TGIF. She knew I loved it. I was tired of the hospital food. I ate the whole thing. I started getting so sick, the same way, just as sick as I got, when I went to the hospital, the same thing. Well, I had to end up staying there another 3 or 4 days. I had faith in those criminal investigators, but nothing jived. There wasn't a fluid format of investigative techniques. I had been asking her, I said, look, why don't you just take a polygraph? That way you're eliminated as a suspect. We're waiting for one of the investigators to have to talk to her about signing the polygraph form to get her to administer a polygraph. And I'm waiting for his phone call, and I had just got a fish platter. I ate all my fish plate. When the investigator never got there, or the polygraph examiner, he was going to be brought there by the investigator. I guess something came up, he couldn't make it. About 35 minutes later, luckily I had picked up one of my criminal justice students. He was driving my car. Next thing, man, things get so bad for me physically, I throw up inside my car, can't even make it to pull the car over. I mean, I'm gravely ill, so bad that he's driving as fast as he can to get to the hospital. He pulls up in there, they got a gurney, that they bring up to the car. They put me on the gurney, I pass out. My heart stopped 4 times. My doctor had already talked to my family, and they were there at the hospital. When he released me, he talked to me in a very stern way. He said, Al, I'm not gonna release you from this hospital if you go back to that blank, blank, blank woman, because I know she had everything to do with poisoning you. She had lied to the investigator. She said that the gunman was wearing a mask. He was not wearing a mask. She said that he jumped out of the car at 60 miles an hour. 60 miles an hour, he would have been dead. The body would have looked like hamburger meat. And then she lied about where she had dropped him off. I'd been talking to the executives of the Crime Stoppers program, and I told them I needed them to raise the reward on my shooting, and they agreed to do that. And lo and behold, days later, somebody calls in utilizing the name of Lisa. And I remember Elizabeth Reynolds would call herself Lisa. To this day, we don't know who it was because it was anonymous. We can only speculate. However, they gave up the shooter. The shooter's name was Francisco Perez. He was at some nightclub and he was bragging that he had shot me. And that's when they brought him in for questioning, and he broke in minutes, like 5 minutes he broke. He rolled over on her, and he started telling him, look, yes, I did this, but I was paid by Elizabeth Reynolds to do this. It was difficult for me to live my life without trying to find out who the gunman was, why they were trying to kill me, why they were trying to shoot me. The district attorney stated during court that her motive was the fact that she had an unhealthy love for me. She felt that if she couldn't have me, nobody was gonna have me. Had I died, you know, she would have gotten away free.